Hi, I'm Nancy Shanteau, and I'm here to read to you again from Access to Power. Let's see if I can get this on the screen. Here we go. A Radical Approach for Changing Your Life. So this is the book I've been reading to you from, and I'm going to read to you from the Pig Parent chapter today. And I'm going to read you a section about powerlessness. And it's called Powerlessness and the Internalization of Oppression. Hi, I'm Nancy Shanteau, and I'm going to read to you from the book Access to Power again. This is from the Pig Parent chapter, and here's the book. I haven't shown it to you yet, so I just wanted to let you see it. So this is in the Pig Parent chapter, and it's called Powerlessness and the Internalization of Oppression. And this section is about how we turn our experiences of powerlessness into shame and self-blaming behaviors in order to try and have some control over our circumstances in our young life, and how those habits and patterns can stick with us unless we change them. Okay. We start life so entirely helpless. As babies, we have minimum power to affect the world around us. And as we grow, we gain limited power and influence over our circumstances. Our powerlessness is overwhelming, and we protect ourselves from feeling the depth and extent of our lack of power by blaming ourselves for things that go wrong. If we don't have friends, it's because we're weird or ugly. If our parents don't give us as much attention as we want, it's because we're unworthy and bad. When we struggle in school, we must be stupid and lazy. This self-blaming instinct offers a sanctuary from the feelings of powerlessness. If we did something to deserve our difficult experiences, we can fix them. If we focus our attention on ourselves and what we did wrong, there's a chance we can improve ourselves and thus change our circumstances. Unfortunately, this judgmental mindset focuses our attention too narrowly on an analysis of our own behavior. This is individualism, instead of on the bigger systems and forces that shape our everyday experiences. And we often pick our most successful strategies as the source and reason for our failure. I must not be smart enough or fast enough or work hard enough. We tell ourselves, if I only work harder, I will be successful. Yet, who defines weird or ugly? How do we know when our preferences are ours, and when they are shaped by cultural messages we receive from adults, our peers, and the media? We spend our time trying to fix what's wrong with us instead of evaluating the standards and values by which we are assessing ourselves. It's a hopeful but dead-end cul-de-sac that takes us ineffectively in circles, wastes our time, and disappoints our youthful dreams for a good life. So I wanted to talk about this today because our powerlessness ends up being a big source of our blaming and shaming that we do to ourselves, the way that we internalize there must be something wrong with me, and in an attempt to fix it in order to try and fix our circumstances. And when we do that, what's happening is we're creating a story about ourselves and our circumstances where we have power over our circumstances by changing how we handle something. If I work harder, if I'm smarter, if I'm prettier, if I'm more able, then I will somehow get what I want. I'll deserve what I want. And that's not really true. That's not how the world works. There's a lot of factors, and things are very complex. There's not this, right and wrong, good and bad, fixed world. It's much more of a contextual world. I'm right in this circumstance and wrong in that circumstance. That was a less successful way to do something. This is a more successful way to do something. But a different context would produce completely different results. And when we understand that, and we accept our powerlessness over our circumstances externally, there's some things we can control and some things we can't, then we're able to internally identify what we actually need to work on that would give us more of what we want, and make a plan that will produce more direct results. When we blame ourselves for things not being how we want them to be, often what happens is we set up an internal stereotype. There's a should or a something that, like, if I was only this way, then I would be okay. And that stereotype ends up producing a stressful interior state, a state of fear, a state of distress and anxiety. And that stressful state, what they've discovered in studying stereotype threat is that there can be a 30 to 40% effect on performance from fearing of the fear that we're going to confirm a stereotype about us. So I'm afraid that you'll find out I'm stupid. I'm afraid that you're going to find out that I'm lazy. I'm afraid that you're going to find out that I'm bad. And when I have that fear, the fear of confirming the stereotype can be so great that it can confirm the stereotype. The fear will actually produce the performance result of that would be congruent with the stereotype. So, and that's Claude Steele and Jeff Aronson's work. The place I read the most about it was Claude Steele's book, Whistling Vivaldi. It's an excellent book. So if we're avoiding a stereotype inside of ourselves, if we're afraid of reproducing a behavior that will cause us problems, and we're totally individualizing, we miss all of the ways that systems and culture and structures are affecting us. When we accept our powerlessness over those systems and cultures and structures, sometimes we have power over them, but a lot of times we have influence at best, and sometimes not even influence. Then we might be able to see a path forward where we can get more of what we want while we accept those structures and systems, that they are what they are, and that there's not something wrong with us. There's something wrong with those systems and structures, and we don't like them. We want them to change. We can work to change them collectively, not individually. But making changes individually isn't going to protect us from those structures and systems. We can navigate a path that will get us more of what we want anyway. And that's the magical thing that happens when we accept our powerlessness, is that we can see what we can do. Hope that helps. Thanks.